Hello everyone, my name is Wade DeWally and welcome to another live stream. Now, let's get to the point. What is Villager Labs? Well, it's a bit complicated. Villager Labs is my type of feature thing that I use for the Villager Labs in Minecraft. Okay, let me give this straight. It's based off of Minecraft, based off of Black Mesa from Half-Life, and there's me in there. And the story is okay. Let's start back in 2013. 2013. Actually, sort of like that. So, there is a point in. I have no idea how I formed this, but there is a starting point, but it doesn't explain. Let me get this straight. Let's go by a story sense. Once upon a time, I was doing some research over something, and I found some interesting things. The Villager Labs company was formed when I discovered anomalies on Minecraft. It became to be very clear and to grow into a huge laboratory. My former self, I founded Villager Labs to perform science. At that time, Notch was in there. However, my Villager Labs got to be very large. We really needed to, it was underground. At first, it was actually Sector A, which is the lowest class, and Sector B. We formed teleportation labs. We were still using nether technology. However, a breakthrough was discovered after we we figured out end crystals, and we could use them. Then we figured out we could use the end crystals. After we slayed the dragon about a lot of times, we set up end bases into the dimensions. It was a breakthrough. It was called ball teleportation. Ball teleportation is basically what is a portal that looks like a sphere. We use this because it's more simpler. Our first teleportation labs was created. But let me get the backdrop. The Villager Labs is a bunch of laboratories underground, and on the surface, I am the owner of Villager Labs. Villager Labs is a bunch of villagers that I have accommodated that we do research and development and making adjustments. Over time, we have gathered so much resources. We've created mines and we have breakthroughs such as automatic mining facilities, continuous miners. We will be able to extract coal. We had to figure out some place to power our entire labs. Our first ever boiling technology. We used coal to last longer. And it did power up. It did help the entire labs just get enough power to power our teleportation labs. The teleportation labs uses a magnetic field stabilizer. The end crystals make a formula of the end accumulations. We use that to make the portals. We'll be able to teleport anywhere around the entire Minecraft world. We were using this to go to different dimensions, the nether and the end. We have gathered so much. Instead, we wanted to have more power to explore other dimensions into this dimension. It wasn't just that. It was other breakthroughs, such as radiation. We have figured out how to use radiation. It allowed us to use plutonium decay. We gathered up materials like uranium, plutonium, and other radioactive materials. We put them in a type of machine, allowed it to break down the water and turn into steam and turn a turbine. It was a complicated system, but it gave us enough power. But then we discovered fusion. That gave us a bunch of power, including all of the power sources, coal, radiation, and the fusion reactor, gave us enough power to have the next generation of teleportation. The space program was still early development, but we didn't have a Villager Lab space station. However, after this, there was a big anomaly that was detected. We were actually still launching satellites early on. And the anomaly was detected on one of our satellites that we put in orbit a long time ago. And this anomaly, something that was just terrible. Villagers that were doing a ritual that wanted to believe that the sky was something, and what happened was that the ritual was supposed to be breaking the space-time and everything. Instead, they basically literally opened up a catastrophic wormhole. But it wasn't a wormhole. It was a reversed wormhole. Then it created some type of weird anomaly. This anomaly expanded very slowly, but the sheer force of the explosion evaporated and turned them into end stone. The villagers were just nasty looking with glowing purple eyes. This phenomena spreaded, which was, I think it was called ER or something like that. A small village that was there. It had boats and all that stuff. But this phenomena kept on expanding. We weren't able to stop it until I had to get in there to basically seal up the phenomena, but it was already too late. This phenomena evaporated the water around it, causing no water. It was a complete drought. Everything was sucked in because of the gravity. It was like a tidal force. It was just enough to move all of that ocean and evaporate it to the sky. We don't know what happened to it. We possibly think the phenomena created a sinkhole. We were able to plug it up with a type of graphite material and steel. It was like a plug. We plugged it in. We'd be able to stop it to do it again for now. What remains of this small village that actually did create in Minecraft? Villagers were becoming so interested. Villager Labs was actually becoming where we got the point to kill the Ender Dragon a million times, able to give us the resources we want. The next stage of evolution of teleportation was the 2 teleportation labs. Two of them were supposed to be turned on. However, the other one was delayed for unassembled things. The 2 of the teleportation labs were the ones that were used for, operating teleportation. We wanted to explore the dimensions. However, a problem into the computer system. We gave us our villagers, they were explorers. We knew where we were going, but there was a problem. So let me think of this. It's a huge bubble in the dimension space-time. There's a bunch of, we got here, and here is the end, here is the nether end. There's a bunch of balls in the spheres, like a map. And the more power we get is the further we go into this. It's not a universe. It's a dimension map, we call it. And they're all plopped around it. And eventually we can't teleport anywhere around this barrier. We just can't have enough power to generate. We got there eventually, but it was a system bug. This was by accident. Instead of a bubble, there was a second bubble. It was below it. A negative value was created. We found one of the worst dimensions we ever seen in the Villager Lab history. It was called the Travel Dimension. Based off a dream I had. But the creatures there, they were like these Endermen that had like a mouth on their chest, but it was like a hole. It was orange. And then their face was purple. Or I don't know. Either about. They spit out this liquid that not only just killed you, it erased you out of reality, killed you, even more killed you than ever. That liquid was a super acid. There were pigmen that were just reversed. Everything was horrible. We didn't even get to catch every single mob because it was terrible. We had to evacuate there. We do have a base there, but it's terrible. It's a terrible place, dimension. We fixed the value, but because we found that, it stuck to us. Killed almost 8 villagers. We don't want to go there anymore. We do go there, but yeah, that essence is dangerous. It's extremely hazardous. So that's why we always remember Sector A and B. We also had C, which was the Ender Dragon killing machine. Sort of. We're not able to train those dragons. We can't. Villagers tried to tell me, can we do something? And we just try, but it won't. Oh, what was that noise? Sorry. I can't take this anymore. This is too much for me.